it's all about market cap, right? So the reason in which crypto moves so much faster and more dramatically than say forex or like traditional stocks like the Dow, the S&P, you know what I mean, like the big stocks, is because the total value of it is smaller. So that means it takes a smaller amount of money to move the price, right?
Okay.
So that's why, that's one of the reasons. That's the main reason why it moves. It's so much more volatile. The other main reason is because there tends to be a lot more inexperienced people trading crypto, and inexperienced investors even, and they tend to panic quickly and like buy and sell and buy and sell and over, and then over leveraged people that really don't know how to trade, that are trading 50, 75, or 100x, and they put their stops there, and they're constantly getting liquidated, and market orders are really what moves the price dramatically. And almost all stop losses are market orders. And if you have a bunch of inexperienced people trading an asset, and they're all putting their stops at this spot, the smart traders know that, and they either wait for price to come there and grab those, and that's a sweep like we were talking about before.
Mm.
And the big guys, like the market makers, if you want to call them, they actually move the price to that area to grab those stops. So you have the big dogs that are moving the price to that area to grab that liquidity, to grab those inexperienced people's stops. And then you have the smart traders that know they're going to do that, and they're just waiting for them to make that happen. And then they jump in right with them. And then you have the people that are the, proverbial cheese in the mousetrap, so to speak.
Okay.
So that's really like the three reasons why crypto is so much more volatile. So now to get back to like your original question, does Ethereum move more? Yeah, of course, because the total market cap of Ethereum is smaller than Bitcoin. And you can go to, some other like, prep coin, like, let's see, like FX or something, and like look at the daily moves on this thing. I just love trading this thing on spot. So this one daily candle, it moves. I've snapped it on the wrong one, but it's really close. 217% in one day.
Oh,
One day. This one day was 54%. Like, look at this monster here. This one was 95%. That one looks so much bigger than that one. But you see what I'm saying? Like, and it's because it's a smaller market cap. And this is what I'm talking about with different assets have different characteristics. This one sweeps in the opposite direction, which I tend to think that they all sweep in the opposite direction of the overall trend. So if you look at this, it's in a long-term downtrend, right? And you can see here, like all of these are sweeps, right? All these sweep, there's a sweep, that's one, that's one, that's one. Now look at the bottom, like you don't really see a lot of sweeps, right? Like it tends to bottom out. You have a couple, you have that one and that one and a little tiny one there, but you see my point.
yeah.
It tends to sweep in the opposing direction. And when I used to trade this, what I would do is you have to, on these coins that are super volatile, one, you have to, really kind of know the asset. And then two, you have to set your take profits or your sells You know what I'm saying? You want to, because what'll happen is it'll come up and it'll hit where you think, and then it goes down just as fast, like faster, so you're like, oh freaking crap, man, I was up 200%, but now I'm like only up 10. So but I recommend kind of just sticking to Bitcoin for a while you're learning and honing your skill and really learn that asset, because it really is what controls everything. I mean, if you look at Bitcoin and Ethereum, like, let me go to like the same, let's just go to like the 4 hour, and the 4 hour reset and reset. So like you can see that these things, like, they're doing almost the exact same thing. You know what I mean? It's just that Ethereum is having more, like, a little bit more volatile of moves. So let's look at for instance, so if we're here, let's measure that to this first one. That's 10.5%. This one, I'm gonna make sure I line that up with this one. So Bitcoin was only 6%,
Yeah.
And that'll be like everywhere you go. So if you measure
Almost
this one on Bitcoin is 16%. Gonna make sure I have this one right. I think it's this one right here. Yeah. See that? No. Okay, so it's back further. Oh, it's this one. It just looks different. Let me reset the chart a little bit, make it easier. Reset both on the 4 hour. Okay. So we'll measure like this one here. So this one on Ethereum, this move down is like 18%. Whereas Bitcoin, oh, it says like right there. Oops. Just snap it over to the side because it wants to stick to everything. Is only like 11%.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So it's a big difference. But you can't you can solely look at an ETH chart and trade it, but it's not advisable. You really should know what's going on with Bitcoin, because like this Bitcoin is going to predict and tell you what this one's going to do. Now, does it mean that ETH doesn't follow like the same guidelines as, like market structure and whatnot, but really to know what's truly going to happen, you really need to see what Bitcoin's doing. So therefore, I recommend really learning Bitcoin inside and out. It's easy to get enticed by the higher profits, but what you got to understand, with those higher profits also comes more dramatic sweeps, and your chances of getting stopped out are much higher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if there's a greater potential for profits, you have to understand that there is always going to be a just as great of a potential for losses. It is 1-to-1. Like, it is, there's always a balance, and that's everything in life, right? There's a balance to everything. So I would just be kind of weary of that just yet.